in whatever it is that you do, every single person will fail. And what I enjoy, be patient with yourself. I think we live in an era of instant gratification where young people want fame and they want fame now. You can't be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? So what I did with my career, and I was very, very specific with it, is that I came in as a TV presenter.
She's a multi-award-winning TV presenter, radio personality, businesswoman, producer, model, style icon, author, and philanthropist. Born in Mahikeng, Northwest, she is known for her flamboyant presenting skills and her signature voice. Bonang Matheba, affectionately referred to by fans as Queen Bee, has firmly positioned herself as Africa's most sought-after entertainment personality and the African continent's #1 social media darling, with over 11.6 million combined social media followers. From a young age, Bonang knew she wanted to be great and live a life of greatness, and her big break came as a presenter of Live, on SABC 1. Followed by a radio host position at Metro FM. This was just the start of a career which has had an extraordinary trajectory. She has won numerous awards and glossed the covers of various magazines throughout her career. Now let's look at the 10 rules of success Bonang lives by.
How did you come from the streets of Mahikeng and then to become this global brand,
yes.
this global brand?
You know, it's a matter of time. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of consistency. It's a lot of focusing on yourself, on your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, and just kind of keeping a focal vision and wanting to do better than yesterday. I am a person who's quite inspired. I love the good things in life, and I understand that the only way to get them is if I work very hard. I'm also very fortunate to come from a well-rounded family. I grew up around people who work hard, so I know and have seen the fruits and the rewards of hard work.
What do you say to youngsters who who aspire to do things but perhaps feel like they can't succeed, because we always hear about high unemployment and negative things around the economy and so on? What's your advice?
I didn't imagine going into this. What I wanted to do was become the biggest and the best television presenter South Africa's ever seen, and to make sure I'm brilliant, not only South African stages, African stages, and also global stages. But on my journey to finding that ultimate global Emmy, or the global that thing at the end of the tunnel, I realized, wow, I can actually do more than just be a TV presenter. On your journey, you also kind of learn as you grow and get ideas and clues from people. Got into radio, got into fashion, did my lingerie collection, started an app, started my production company. Now I just released a film, Public Figure, at the Manchester Film Festival. So as you go, you kind of grow and you're like, oh my God, I can do this and I can be so amazing. But so I think, what I would say to young people is, first of all, I started at the age of 15 on SABC 2. On a small little show called Manhattan's Fantasy Challenge. I was a couple of years old, moved on to Live on SABC 1, and then top billing, and so and so and so. So success is not something that's going to happen anytime soon. For the Bonang that's sitting here is a product of about 15 years of hard work. And I can say that because people have seen me, through my trials and tribulations. Absolutely. People have watched me grow. It's all documented in your favorite blogs and, all your favorite magazines and tabloids. So what I say is, be patient with yourself. I think we live in an era of instant gratification where young people want fame and they want fame now. There's no value and no respect for time and hard work and thorough hard work. The fame that you get on Instagram, you get the like and the click, that's nice for now. But the good, fulfilling success that lasts for a long time, it needs grit, it's going to take tears, it's going to take failure, but it's going to need you to just finish what you start. Super. If you have a plan and a goal, just make sure you just that's all it takes.
Okay, to young girls there in South Africa who want to be you, they want to emulate you, I mean, where does one start?
Oh, I think a plan. You need to be very crystal clear about what it is you want to achieve. I'm a person that writes things down. I have a 3-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. And I usually always say it's just about being thorough and sticking to what it is you want to do. A lot of prayer, a lot of hard work, a lot of smart time management, surrounding yourself with people who are genuinely just for you and want you to be great. Have a mentor, somebody who is in the industry you're trying to kind of tackle. And a lot of just focus, a lot of focus, but ultimately just finishing what it is that you started.
Yep.
That's most important.
Very true.
Well, it's the same thing I say on my website all the time, in my blogs every day. It's you need to always remember the true value of hard work and the fact that it takes about 4 or 5 years to create an overnight success. And, the things happen if you are willing to wait for it, believe in God, have the faith and the patience, and know that things happen on God's time and not your time. It's just the difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is the fact that extraordinary people worked a little harder and waited a little bit longer. So if you trust in yourself, believe that your dreams are valid, like Lupita said, and that you won't give up on whether yourself or it's God or a higher being, whatever it is. And also just believing and knowing that you're adequate, you're enough. And there's nothing that hard work cannot give you. A little bit of faith mixed with a little bit of hard work and a little bit of patience and perseverance, the world is your oyster.
Because you can't be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? So what I did with my career, and I was very, very specific with it, is that I came in as a TV presenter. That is what I wanted to do, and that is still my profession. And before I looked around and I did many other amazing things, I worked on making sure that I was very, very good at that. And that I was so good that I was the very, very best. Because if you don't perfect one thing and you don't learn from the process of perfecting one area, how do you move on to perfect the next if the first is not good? And what I love about the process of perfecting something is that you learn so very much, that once you're comfortable with this, then you move on to that. But I find like in all those different facets of my life, I use the very same set skills. Hard work, channeling your focus, being careful, but also no man is an island. People think Bonang does all of this, but that's not possible. I learned from a very young age that I have to ask when I don't know. There's no shame in asking.
Absolutely.
You don't know everything. And it is better to know than to embarrass yourself. So what I do is that I ask. And if I'm not good at something, I ask. Or I find somebody that's good in that area that will help me be better in that area. I had lots of TV mentors. Make sure you're not a jack of all trades and a master of none, because you end up doing too many things at once that nothing ever gets done. What winemaking has taught me is that wine is just time in a bottle. And the longer you let it ferment, the better it becomes.
That's beautiful.
So the longer you take with yourself, the kinder you are with yourself, the more you allow yourself to grow and harvest and be this beautiful grape, the more expensive you become, the richer and creamier you become in taste. You understand what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, you're the bottles of wine. I guess, right?
Because so much of the youth look up to you and want to be like you. What kind of advice would you give everyone out there trying to follow those dreams?
Oh, I say, give yourself time, give yourself patience. I'm a person that writes down, goals and objectives and things that I want to do with my life. Mm-hmm. And I always find when you write things down, it becomes visual and it becomes, something that you see every day that constantly reminds you to keep working hard. Also, a lot of patience. I find that you need to be kind of patient with your success. It takes about 4 or 5 years to create and build an overnight success. I also, with my companies, realize that you will fail, but you need to fail spectacularly. It needs to be the most fabulous failure in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Because failure it's a constant. It's going to be there. In whatever it is that you do, every single person will fail. And what I enjoy about, well, maybe only now, I'm like, thank goodness that I failed spectacularly in front of people, and it's been so well documented, because then younger people will see that it happens. It's going to happen. It will happen to anybody all the time. How you bounce or how you kind of react from that failure is the true definition of your character.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
When you start anything, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's corporate, you need to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And also, I know sometimes we don't have the privilege of working in or doing things that we love. But I think you really, really need to try your best to do something that you love. You know why? Because life is long. And I can't imagine the thought of waking up every morning to do something you hate.
That you don't
That's
love.
not a nice feeling. That's not life. That's not happiness. You're right? You don't want that for yourself. And you know, let me tell you something about what you love. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to have it. It's going to be tough to turn it into a career. It's going to be tough to ultimately be happy in it. But let me tell you, once you hit that sweet spot, it's going to be so sweet.
And then, of course, you also say that you're hoping that this special will inspire girls and women to live their best lives, Bonang. So what exactly do we mean by living our best lives?
Well, going into August, and I think, as we all know, it's Women's Month. I love that I get to premiere this on the 1st of August. Women are such a huge inspiration and sort of the decisions that I take. And I have always been about women empowerment, through the Bonang Matheba Foundation. It's also educating young girls. So I have a great, great interest in women, particularly South African women. And, the way I live my life, how I, make decisions, the career choices that I make, it's always really involved around creating your own narrative. I want girls out there to realize that they can be what they want to be, whenever they want to be. They can live a life that is, that makes them happy instead of society. So I have been just on a path, on a theme to how girls sort of feel great, feel inspired, feel like they can do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it. And that's sort of the crux around a very Bonang, just a young South African girl, who is living by her own rules and finding a way to make all her dreams a reality.
Yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, being so high profile does come with its negativity.
Absolutely.
It does.
Yeah.
We've evolved so much here in South Africa because we never really had that massive, major celebrity culture. But now it is so big. And I mean, I would say you're at the crux of it all because, you'll wake up and one day your world is so good and everything is so great. And the next day, suddenly there's all this bad publicity that you've got to get around. And what is it like for you? It must be a bit of a roller coaster too.
I mean, it is. I've been doing this for just over 10 years, but ultimately you do get sort of you realize and kind of come up with things that work, whether it's a management team or a PR team, or knowing what to respond to, what not to respond to, knowing what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy, and knowing that you can't always just attend every argument you're invited to.
Yeah.
But I've kind of found that it comes with the territory. If you are going to be successful, I mean, there are certain things that you're going to have to deal with, and you just need to know how to deal with them and then move on. You can't always focus on the bad. Which is one way of dealing with it. Just do what you do best and forget about everybody else, if it's at all possible.
Which of the success rules did you like the most? Let us know in the comments section below, and thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.